Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Emily and this is the third video I am filming today. I filmed a tutorial on this look minus the lip color. It's a different lip color. And I also filmed a clean with me, and those two videos should already be up. So if you guys want to go check those out, they should be the two newest videos before this. But in today's video, I wanted to do a kind of different video. This is going to be my books that I really enjoyed and that I would recommend. These are just the books that I have read in the past and I really enjoyed and, like I said, would recommend. So I'm basically just going to, without giving too much detail, I'm not gonna like spoil it. I'm just basically gonna like summarize the beginning and like what the book is about and tell you my thoughts and everything like that and why I recommend it. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started. So I will just start off. So this one is the first book. This is called Just Kids by Patti Smith, and it is actually a #1 New York Times bestseller. I found this book at a bookstore in like a downtown area that I live in, or that I'm close near to. I was wanting to read this book because I have seen some other people on the internet read this book and they said they really liked it and that they recommended it and everything. And I honestly, going into this book, I had no idea who Patti Smith was. This is Patti Smith right here, and then this is her boyfriend, Robert Mapplethorpe, or actually I think it's Robert Mapplethorpe. But that's him. And basically this book, if you guys don't know who Patti Smith is, she is basically just like a musician who started off, you know, living in like the very poor part when she was about a teenager to her early 20s. She was living in New York City with her boyfriend right here. Kind of just takes them on like their life journey of them being so poor and like having like the bare minimum to becoming the beginning stages of her becoming famous. So it's really interesting and really inspiring, and when you read the book you kind of just feel like you are living along with Patti Smith and Robert, and it's just like a love story between them a little bit. There's like a little bit of a love story, basically just like about her life. And I know that she makes other books as well, and I think that I am interested in reading them. But for not knowing who Patti Smith is, I would recommend, because at the beginning it kind of gives you her background, not as who she is currently, but it kind of gives you like a history of her when she was little, and then you get to figure out throughout the book that she is actually famous and a musician and does more, creates art, things like that. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book and I thought it was really interesting. All right, so I didn't really tell you guys like what kind of books I normally read. So I normally like young adult novels. I really like mysteries. I like a lot of different books. I really enjoy poetry, and it has to be like relatable poetry, something like, it can't just be like poetry I've studied in school. Like that to me is kind of boring and very confusing, and I can't really interpret that really well. But I like poetry that was like written for the brokenhearted. You know, even if you aren't brokenhearted, you kind of still have some of that sadness in you. I feel like everybody has a little bit of sadness in them. But yeah, this one is called The Sun and Her Flowers by Rupi Kaur, Rupi Kaur, I think that's how you say her name. This book is amazing. I have actually read this whole book, and it is a poetry book. So it has a bunch of different poems in it, and I have just bookmarked a few. And the ones that I bookmarked, I'm actually going to read to you guys. I'm not going to read all of them to you guys, but I'm just going to read just a couple of them so you can kind of like get the gist of her writing. So let's see, which one do I want to read? I'll read a short one. So this is one that I bookmarked, or is this one that, yeah. So this one says, "You have so much, but are always hungry for more. Stop looking up at everything you don't have and look around at everything you do." And it says like where the satisfaction lives. I just thought that one was like kind of relatable, so I like that one. The one next to it says, "I woke up thinking the work was done. I would not have to practice today. How naive to think healing was that easy. where there is no endpoint, no finish line to cross. Healing is everyday work. I thought that was really, really nice. And then I'll read a couple more. My God is not waiting inside a church or sitting above the temple steps. My God is the refugee's breath as she's running, is living in the starving child's belly, is the heartbeat of the protest. My God does not rest between pages. Written by holy men. My God lives between the sweaty thighs of women's bodies sold for money. Was last seen washing the homeless man's feet. My God is not as unreachable as they'd like you to think. My God is beating inside us infinitely. I thought that was really, really, really beautiful. And then another one, this one says, a lot of times we are angry at other people for not doing what we should have done for ourselves. Responsibility. That one just gets me. All of these kind of are really, really, really good, but I just really was picky with the ones that I bookmarked and just really saved the pages of the ones that I could relate to. This one says, yesterday the rain tried to imitate my hands by running down your body. I ripped the sky apart for allowing it. Jealousy. So that's kind of like her style of writing, really, 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 really deep. And that's why I like poetry. It just says all the thoughts that I can't get out into words, all the thoughts and feelings that I really can't speak into existence and words, just because I'm not poetic like these people. And this just really, I can really relate to a lot of these poems in this book. So I would really recommend this. Check it out. Even if, I feel like you gotta read poetry because everybody has deep and buried feelings. So I really recommend this one. And she has a first one. The other one is called Milk and Honey. I actually have it over there, and it's another poetry book, and it's really, really good. Yeah, this one I just like a little bit better, I think. I related to more of the poems in The Sun and Her Flowers, and the title is just a really cute name. The next book I have is this really, really, really cute book. It's called Dodie, Secrets for the Mad, Obsessions, Confessions, and Life Lessons. This one, okay, so this is actually a YouTuber on YouTube, and I don't follow her, but I know that she's a YouTuber who makes music. I found that out from this book. But basically, this is just a book written about herself, Dodie. She is just it kind of has little stories of hard times that she's went through in her life, and it has little happy endings to them. It has very relatable. If you are a teenager who is going through phases of things you don't really know who you are, or you're just having a hard time in life, this is just a really nice book to read. It's very relatable, and I felt like I could relate to it more if I was a little bit younger. But it's really, really good. And then on the back, in the towards the end of the book, it has little recipes, if you live on your own and you are struggling with coming up with meals, it kind of has her favorite easy, quick, simple recipes that she likes to eat, which basically all of them are vegetarian, which is good because I'm a vegetarian. And yeah, this is just filled with really cute stories and happy endings and really relatable. All right, the next book that I have, this one I bought this book at Barnes & Nobles, if you guys are familiar with that. That's just a bookstore that has a ton of new books, really popular books, but it also has some old books as well. Just a bookstore filled with books. I love that place. This one is called Watch Me Disappear, and this was also a New York Times bestseller, and it is written by Janelle Brown. This is a really good book. It's a mystery, and so it's a fiction book. Yeah, I had to think. It's a fiction book, but it's really, really, really good. It's a mystery, and it's just basically about this family, and basically just, I don't really want to spoil it, but it is really good, and it's a mystery. So if you guys like mysteries, this one has an ending to where you're kind of pissed off about it. You're kind of give me more, but if they don't make a sequel to this, I'm going to be mad because the ending really, really left you hanging and kind of makes you gasp a little bit because you didn't expect that ending to happen. And it was an easy read too, and I think the cover is really cute. It's kind of like this forest cover with like pink writing. But yeah, this is the back of it. That's the author right there. So I just bought this at Barnes & Noble's and really, really enjoyed it. The next book you guys might be familiar with. So they made a movie on it, and I didn't know that it was a book before it was a movie. So basically it is, it's called Beautiful Boy, and this is also a #1 New York Times bestseller, and this is a book. It's a really, 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 really sad book. It's a true story. The people on the cover, this is Timothy Chalamet or something, that's how you say his name. And then this is Steve Carell, I believe. He's from The Office or something. Yeah, he's from The Office, but yeah, the reason why they're on the cover is because they were the main characters in the movie that they made. I would say read this book. Don't even bother watching the movie. I mean, you can of course watch the movie, but the movie was nothing compared to this book. This book was written by the father of the boy, and this boy is a meth addict. When he was growing up, you know, you never thought that he was going to turn out to be an addict. It just wasn't expected, and all of a sudden, like, he was just behind closed doors, I guess, and doing bad things with bad people. So I mean, this is just all the dad's thoughts and his processing and what was going on with how the dad was handling it, basically. And it's really, really, really sad, and you definitely feel for not only the dad that's dealing with his son becoming an addict, but definitely all families that suffer with this. And it's really helpful too if you are suffering with someone or you know someone who is an addict, and he really does give like really good tips in here. It feels like you're really not alone when you read this book. It is very sad though, so yeah, I really enjoyed this book though. I thought it was really good to learn and learn about what really goes on, and it teaches you a little bit of history about the drug methamphetamine, and I thought it was a really good read. And then the last book, I try to read a book every month or two. I really try. I can't read a book in like less than 2 weeks unless it's like a really short book, but basically these are not all the books that I've read over the past year, but basically half the books that I've read over the past year. So yeah, the last book that I have is a really funny book. This is It Gets Worse, a collection of essays by Shane Dawson, and if you guys are familiar, you probably are with Shane Dawson here on YouTube. He wrote 2 books, and this is the second one, which is a New York Times bestseller. I did read the first one on Audible. I am a fan of Audible, and I love the whole program with Audible and how you can just like listen to books without having to take the time to open it up and read it, how you can just kind of multitask with that by listening to the book. But yeah, this one was so funny, and of course it's going to be funny because Shane Dawson is hilarious, but I was laughing out loud reading this book. It is basically just a bunch of crazy stuff that happened in his life that he tells as a story and makes it even funnier probably than the moment that it happened. And this book is seriously really, really good. I mean, I don't normally go for comedies, but if it's Shane Dawson, I'm gonna read the book. But yeah, that is all of the books that I would recommend, and half the books I've read over the past year. I love reading books so much, and I feel like it is such a great escape to reality and can kind of create like a whole different viewpoint in your head about different situations and really expand your mind and exercises your mind whenever I sit down and read a book. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video, and I guess I will just talk to you guys in my next one. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!